The FAA thinks my Hispanic daughter is a pilot.
Perry Bryan was a quiet aviation safety consultant who loved his 9-year-old daughter Emma more than anything. One rainy afternoon, his friend Katrina, an air traffic controller, called him in panic. She said a cargo plane had taken off from Denver and the pilot listed on the manifest was Emma, complete with a student pilot certificate issued 3 weeks earlier. Perry knew Emma was downstairs drawing, yet someone had used her identity so precisely that the FAA believed she was a certified pilot. Moments later, the school called saying Emma had been absent all day, even though she insisted she had been in class. Then a text arrived telling him to check his mailbox. He found a photograph of Emma standing beside a small aircraft in a pilot's uniform she had never worn, smiling at a place she had never been. A note said she flew beautifully and provided a phone number. When Perry called, the man on the line claimed to know Perry's past and mentioned the Cascade Aviation disaster he had investigated 6 years earlier. The man revealed himself as Randall Huffman, the former CEO of the airline Perry's audit had destroyed. He blamed Perry for ruining his life and now wanted revenge. He said he didn't want Emma, he wanted control. He threatened to place Emma's identity in police reports, flight documents, and federal systems to make her look unstable or criminal unless Perry agreed to take a consulting job. He insisted Perry help build a new airline that would secretly support illegal operations. Perry realized the documentation Randall forged was so precise that one wrong move could get Emma taken by authorities or used as leverage forever. To protect his daughter, Perry accepted the contract. Randall immediately assigned him to inspect a remote desert airfield in Arizona. Once there, Perry realized the operation looked flawless on the surface, perfect planes. Perfect logs, perfect workers, but too perfect to be real. He discovered altered maintenance records and suspicious aircraft weight patterns. With careful observation, he learned that the company was likely smuggling undeclared gold through hidden routes. Randall threatened Emma again by fabricating new reports showing her involved in crimes she never committed. Perry played along publicly, but privately built an encrypted file documenting every detail of the smuggling network. He befriended Frank, an old mechanic who revealed that cargo logs had been rewritten and that shipments were suspiciously heavy. Perry also noticed extra security, false documentation, and coordinated secrecy among staff. By collecting residue from one aircraft and finding a small piece of gold trapped in the cargo floor, he confirmed his suspicion. Randall called again accusing Perry of sneaking into the cargo plane and warned that a man was watching Emma's school, ready to take her if Perry didn't comply. The threat was real enough that Perry had his sister Doris hide Emma away from her routine. Knowing he couldn't fight alone, Perry contacted Katrina, who connected him to an FBI agent willing to act if Perry could provide solid proof. Perry then turned to Catherine, the cargo operations manager, discovering her vulnerable point her fugitive brother. He convinced her Randall would sacrifice her when the scheme collapsed and offered her a chance for immunity if she helped expose everything. Catherine eventually agreed and gave Perry complete manifests, flight logs, financial trails, and evidence of corrupt FAA officials helping Randall's operation. Randall suddenly moved up a major 6-ton shipment. The FBI needed more time, so Perry created a believable mechanical failure by manipulating coolant levels in the cargo loading system. It delayed the shipment long enough for the FBI to mobilize. That night, federal agents stormed the facility before the planes departed, seizing the gold, documentation, and conspirators. Randall called in rage, but Perry explained that everything had been collected: evidence, testimonies, and full operational details. Emma's identity fabrication would be exposed as part of the conspiracy, clearing her name permanently. The FBI arrested corrupt FAA staff and detained most of Randall's team. Catherine and Frank cooperated and avoided prison. Brett, the man watching Emma, was arrested in Denver. Randall faced dozens of federal charges, including smuggling, fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy. Perry endured months of statements and court procedures, but felt peace knowing Emma remained safe and unaware of the danger she had been in. Eventually, he stepped away from aviation consulting, choosing a quieter life. Emma returned to playing, learning, and living without fear, and Perry watched her every day with gratitude. He knew Randall had underestimated him, believing he could control a man who understood every weakness in a system. Instead, Perry used the same analytical skills that made him a great safety consultant to dismantle Randall's entire operation. He won because he fought for something stronger than revenge his daughter's life. And in the end, protecting Emma was the only victory that mattered.